rings to choose from, a lot of selection, and he's going to give you the time and the opportunity to choose what you like the most. 8803 Brecksville Road or online at bookmanandson.com is where you need to go. Christmas time or any time, Bookman & Son is the place to be. That's bookmanandson.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
No gift? No problem. With Target's last-minute gifts, the holidays are a breeze. You can score on the hottest toys, beauty must-haves, chocolatey stocking stuffers, and much more. And if you need it now, no worries. Swing by any Target store today and snag all the stocking stuffers and gifts for the most magical season yet. Step into the holidays, check off everything on your list, and save big on your last-minute gifts. Only at Target.
Need to talk about the Browns. We got you covered. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
So much can happen around the globe that we never hear of.
Embarrassing. And we got to be better on defense.
It won't matter till April. I think we know that. Y'all gonna write us off. We could go 82-0. No one would care.
He's a piece of crap. The kid, he sucks. He's sucked his whole career.
I got rumors about him. How he couldn't please his wife, and so now he's divorced.
Put a damn winning team on the field.
Now the Ken Carman Show with Anthony Lima give their thoughts on what you might have missed about last night.
Yesterday we heard from Cleveland Browns coach Kevin Stefanski regarding the hottest button topic after the Browns lost to the Bears on Sunday, wristband game. What happened with Shedeur Sanders' wristband? Now, we've heard from Stefanski's response on Sunday, which both of you guys said was terrible. This is Stefanski's further response in Monday's press conference.
Obviously had the wristband. It was good on the first drive. At some point after the first drive, one of the cards must have fallen out of Shedeur's wristband. So when he went to that panel to look for it, it wasn't in there. You know, we have Bailey on the sideline, have Dylan on the sideline where he can swap out and grab their wristband. So you always have to be prepared for those type of things. You have to be prepared for if the headset goes out. You have to have those automatics that you have to get to if the headset goes out. And similarly, while that's very rare, you have to be ready if something like that were to occur.
How did Stefanski's follow-up rank compared to his first answer for you guys?
Much better, obviously, now that you have time to think about it.
Is there a chance that the internet got this one wrong? Is there a chance that this wasn't some disaster? Like, we've heard that. We've had 100 reasons to move on from this coaching staff or whatever. So it's not like we should be accused of doing everything we can to say good things about him. But is there a chance the rush to judgment here based on a report that didn't have all the information on the sidelines, that this wasn't as big of a deal remotely as we thought.
No. When you're not very good and all these things have happened to you in the past, people are not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So they're going to think that you did not get prepared and you did not do what was necessary to get prepared to get your guy ready. And especially because your guy is very popular and people want him to be successful, you're going to be, and people think that there's people out there who think that you're doing what you can to sabotage him, which I don't believe is true. I just think it's the Browns. They're going to come after you, and I think they're coming after him. And when you're if they were 11-3, it'd be a lot different. But no, you're 3-11, and you were 3-11 at this point last year, I think, and you will probably be 3-14 just like you were last year. Mitch, go ahead.
Well, because the Browns have been struggling this year, we will likely be looking for a quarterback next spring and maybe even beyond next spring, depending on how next year goes. Some of the quarterbacks that we might look forward to next year, though, making some decisions yesterday. Arch Manning expected to return to Texas for the 2026 season. Meanwhile, Dylan Raiola and DJ Logway are expected to hit the transfer portal. And one name that's not hitting the transfer... Lagway, excuse me. One name that's not hitting the transfer portal, Lenoris Sellers, coming back to South Carolina. Is that a surprise to you?
No, I think they have deep pockets in South Carolina, deeper than people realize. I mean, the Murdaugh guy ain't around anymore to give him money, but you get what I'm saying. Well, he's in jail, right? The Murdaugh guy's in jail? Yeah. So he ain't around to give money anymore, but I mean, they still got deep pockets down there at South Carolina, so he could get them. I just hope he gets the coaching. I hope that he gets the protection that he needs, and they made some bad decisions in their transfer portal. He did not have good protection. He is a big-body quarterback. I want to see how he processes next year because I thought he was a little bit late this year.
I agree. Yeah, it was just disappointing because we thought all these quarterbacks were going to be so much fun to watch and to evaluate. And unfortunately, Drew Aller... Archie just wasn't great to start out the year.
Yeah, remember, he's just Arch.
Archie's the dad.
Yeah.
Grandfather.
That's right.
Cooper's the dad.
Excuse me. I don't know what I'm off today.
Name that Manning is definitely a game we're going to play if we don't draft a quarterback next coming year, unless Shedeur takes off. Go ahead.
Finally, here, staying in college football, we had Joe Klatt on yesterday at WJOX in Birmingham talking about the college football playoff system, with people talking about James Madison and Tulane coming in the first round here, and he kind of compared it to another system in college sports that he finds stupid.
The reason the group of five is included in this playoff is to avoid antitrust litigation. That's it. Nobody cares in football about James Madison or the equivalent of George Mason. Nobody cares in football about that. We don't want Cinderellas. We want the best teams playing each other at the end. In fact, hot take, the NCAA basketball tournament is a joke. It's the dumbest tournament and the least fair tournament in all of sports. We put teams at odd times on neutral sites in a one-game affair. Like, that doesn't crown a true champion.
So is college football better when the best teams are playing compared to college basketball?
Well, I feel like I've made these arguments over the years about the best ways to actually crown a champion and how few of the sports actually do the best at doing it. Like, I would say the NBA and its playoff format is probably the best of all the sports at crowning the team that was the best all year.
Yeah.
You have too long of a postseason, but that gets the job done.
Yeah,
the better team wins out over time. The worst way to crown a champion is in a one-game tournament, but it's also the most exciting.
If you want this, do you like James Madison and Tulane being in?
No.
You don't?
The fact that two of them...
You better hope they get boat
And also
raced.
the fact that Tulane already got blown out by Ole Miss, and they're playing Ole Miss again.
You better hope they get
two
boat
different
raced,
head coaches, though.
Two different head coaches. But these games will be tune-outs halfway through the second quarter.
Wait, I'm really hot, by the way.
Yeah. Well, it is. The fan's not on like it normally.
Warm here.
Wait a second, Kenny.
Warm.
Wait a second.
Little what?
Kenny is disrobing right in the studio to unveil.
I'm just trying to get cooled off.
What are all of you
doing? Take it off my jacket.
It wasn't just
I'm just
Holy
taking off my jacket. That's all.
Anthony jumped in with some bad acting, and Mitch.
What are you talking about? It's just I took off my jacket. It's hot in here.
I'm thinking of the Roger Clemens moment right now.
What are you wearing, kid?
Wow!
Oh my
What are you
God.
talking about? I don't know. That's why you got to go to YouTube Live, which is officially up. We had a bit of a delay, but we got the kinks worked out with YouTube, and it's up.
So if you heard this approximately 1 hour and 48 minutes ago,
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
I just know
we're just redoing it. They said recycle your content. Here we go.
All I
What
know
are you
is
saying?
I'm looking at Ken Carman rocking Penn State Nittany Lion gear right now. And he just put a hat on, oh my God.
Whoa!
Support my friends. Support my friends. Support my friends.
Looks like an offensive line coach in college football.
Support Skip, support Matt, support Scott, support my friends.
I wonder which
Wham.
James Franklin fired coach used to be the owner of that
Oh,
gear.
yeah.
No, I'm
Wow.
You know, a funny story about my first ever Iowa State hoodie
Really?
is that it was technically issued to Mark Mangino. His name was on the tag.
Wow.
It was one of the best fat jokes I've ever been the subject of.
I did not know
Yes.
that.
Well,
That's an incredible fact that I'm hearing for the very first time.
Now my hat's a little askew because I'm a lefty.
Oh,
So it's a little odd, but I got, you know what? That's the best thing about this hat. I got 4 others. So, you'll probably see a bunch of them.
I want to know where the whiteout gear is.
Just a big fan here.
When is the
my
whiteout
friends.
gear going to be unveiled?
Well, I'll probably look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Oh, man.
If I wear the whiteout gear. I didn't think about that, though. If I go to a whiteout game, I'm going to have to just, because I have to ask for dark colors for anything if I ever get sent anything. They can't just send me a bunch of white stuff.
Get the ketchup on there.
Oh, God, that's terrible.
That'd be embarrassing.
Your head coach improperly dates a staffer one time, and you're immediately going to another Big Ten
What are
school.
you talking about? I'm
What
not
are
a
you
Michigan
saying?
fan.
What are you saying?
You got a set on you, buddy boy.
You said you hate Ohio State, so
I don't hate Ohio State, and I'm not a Michigan fan. I never have been.
That's not what I heard.
And I think if you were a fan of a lot of different college football teams, there's been a lot of guys who've improperly been with staffers in the past. Thank you very much.
Well,
not to that extent.
And we've got a little bit of time, and now you will power rank those guys.
Oh, number one, Bobby Petrino's number one. 100%
It was
number
on
one.
April Fool's.
Yeah,
guys.
with a bullet. Number 2. Let's see how the Sharon Moore thing plays out here before I put him in anything. Larry Eustace.
Oh, that was
Larry Eustace's in there. That's number 2. Number 3. Oh God, Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze.
Nice. Yeah, you're forgetting another big one.
Who?
Who's the coach at Michigan State?
Oh, Mel Tucker?
Mel Tucker.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mel Tucker
We're
was
just
the biggie.
doing football and staffers,
But
right?
by the way, comparatively, Mel Tucker looks like a saint compared to the Moore stuff. Like Mel Tucker, could he get
Let's
hired
let
again?
that one die down before we talk about that one. That one's that's rough business right there.
It's very rough. It could have been so much worse. Could have been 1,000 times worse that day.
Terrible. Anyway, yeah, I never have been, nor I never will I be a Michigan fan. I just don't hate them. I don't hate Ohio State either. I just support my friends.
Well,
So
when Penn State plays Michigan, we'll see where you are. That's it for about last night.
when Penn State plays Michigan, I will be rooting for Penn State. When Penn State plays a lot of teams, I will be pulling for Penn State. Thank you very much. Not that I have anything against Iowa State now. I saw that Jimmy Rogers introductory speech. Oh, dropping F-bombs and everything. Speaking of cussing, did a lot last night. My dog made me upset, and she hates me now, just like lots of members of my family. It's finally figured out that. And apparently, according to Chase Daniel, who broke down some Shedeur tape, I might not be the football guy I thought I was. That's coming up in 5 on The Fan. Friends,
deserves a decent amount of the credit for Shador's improvement, which, by the way, if Shador continues to play really well this last month, do you want to move on from the coaching staff that's getting him to play really well?
Catch Odyssey NFL insider Ross Tucker on Afternoon Drive every Wednesday at 4. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Chase Daniel makes me feel like maybe I'm not the football guy I thought I was. That coming up here in moments. Can I tell you a disgusting story? I'll try to clean it up, I promise. Yesterday, my dog was the last one holding out. Now my entire family hates me. We got a small, we have a mini doodle. She's 5 pounds. She's 5 pounds. Our old dog, Sam, he was a big boy. He was over 100 pounds. He's a big old boy. Now he weighs about 4 pounds. He's in a box of ashes in our living room. But Jenny is 5 pounds, and she's very fuzzy right now. And I've been barking at Liz to get this damn dog's hair cut because the dog's job, like Sam used to kill things and bring them to the front door. Like, here you go. Like he went through a thing when he was like a puppy to about age 3. He would like there was a couple dead squirrels, a couple dead birds, like there was some dead stuff out there, and he would be like, "Check it out, I brought this for you," and it's like no, like a cat would do.
They got to kill time. Days are long when you're a pet.
Yeah, they are. But Jenny's job is not that. She's there to be snuggled and look cute and all that stuff. And part of what her cuteness is her eyes. And I can't really see her eyes because she's kind of moppy right now because it's cold. And Liz is like, I want her hair to be long. And Liz likes that scruffy look. Long story short, the snow's big, she's small, and Liz went to let her out. And I get in bed last night. We have this ritual where Jenny runs up and she lays right on my chest. And I give her scratches on her back, and she likes the scratches. And then, I end up like, okay, it's time for me to go to bed. Good night. And I won't do it in the morning. Because we're starting our day. I'm ending my day, and we're not going to have nice times and then go to work. It's not going to happen. So she comes up, and I go, geez, what's that smell? She's scruffy.
Oh, boy.
There's snow. Some of it was stuck to her. But it was like matted to her.
Caked in there.
So
oh boy.
I had to grab her and basically put her in a Gunther John Cena headlock, except reverse. And then I got a wash rag, wetted it down, warm water, and then did it. Well, I had to pull out a lot of hair she didn't yip. And I mean, after that, which I'm glaring at Liz, I go, this is part of the reason why I wanted the dog's haircut. Because I'm like, I got to do this. And I got done, threw that away, washed my hands, tried to lay down, and that dog walked up to me, climbed up to me, went to put its head down, and then just basically gave me a bleep you and walked off. And that dog won't come near me now. This morning, she looked up at me and gave me a bleep you look, and then put her head right down next to her mother, and then that was it.
After all
at
that
3:30 in the morning,
been through together?
Everything we've been through together, I think I've ruined a nightly ritual here just because I wanted her to not stink. And, you leave that, who knows what it's going to do to that hair, fur, whatever. Oh, yeah. She doesn't shed, so I don't know whether to call it fur or whatever. I'll call it fur. But it's disgusting, and it needs to be fixed, and I didn't want her to be hurt, and I did something for her own good, but she don't understand that because she's a dumb dog. And I'm over here thinking, well, there it is. Now the whole family hates me.
Are you still doing pee pads or no?
She don't use them.
Okay. That's another thing.
I'll walk around and there's just presents hanging out where if it's too cold, she's dainty. And if it's too cold, she's just going to, Willy Wonka's going to empty his pockets right there in our dining room. And I got to make sure I don't step in it and clean it up and throw it away. That's the way it goes.
So I feel like it's still early in the game. You guys can foster a better relationship over time. It's just there's some trust issues right now.
She hates me. And
how are the kids doing with her?
Oh, they love her.
Yeah.
They love her.
They throwing her around a little bit like kids do?
No. They used to basically stomp Sam out like they were stone cold because they were kids. They didn't know any better.
Yeah,
and Sam didn't care.
Pets don't realize when they come to these families, they get the warmth and shelter and food. That's great. Mm-hmm. And water, all those necessities. Mm-hmm. They also get involved in 24/7 wrestling matches with kids. And they unwittingly, they have no idea that this is what they signed up for.
Between boys and girls, Charlie's 12, and she has worn her share of princess dresses in her life. Just the right size for when my girls were all, toddlers.
Oh, yeah.
I'd walk in the bedroom, and there she was, tethered to a bed pole and being dolled up.
Yep.
See, they have no idea.
They have a rough life.
Now, maybe they enjoy it. I don't know.
Sam,
sometimes there's experimenting going on.
When Sam got old, his eyesight started to go, so I had to keep the boys away because if they can't see and they feel something that they feel is going to be a threat to them, they're going to snap at it. So I had to be careful about that in Sam's old age. But with Jenny, now she hates me, and again, it's just now I'm the own man in my own family. So there we go.
Welcome to the club, Jenny.
Yeah. You guys all have something in common now with my dog. Chase Daniel's going to make me feel like less of a man, at least less of a football guy, because he did have an observation, and this flies in now this is a former NFLer, so I guess I have to acquiesce to him, but this flies in the face of everything that I have made the argument for over, since 2021, you would say? Here is Chase Daniel on Shedeur Sanders' game yesterday. His former NFLer, hosts his own podcast. Here's Chase Daniel on Shedeur Sanders' game on Sunday, and how he didn't like this, and he doesn't think the locker room is going to like it either.
Here's the one thing I'm going to point out, and this is going to get on the coach's nerves, and you can get mad at me for pointing it out all you want. Watch Shedeur first before we get to the back view. After the interception, what are you taught as a quarterback? To not stand there. He was the only guy to not move to chase. Every other guy is chasing. I promise you that's getting talked about. Okay, I like the motion. He goes in, and then at some point, just maybe, you're never thinking he's going to make this crazy play where he tips it up and stuff like. Try to get it around him. But in my opinion, man, this play wasn't as bad as some people make it out to be, because I think it was, it's an interception. It's going to go down. But this dude right here just made a good play. I just think that you got to show a little bit of effort on the interception.
Boy, this reminds me of conversations we had, because we had a whole season derailed, and maybe the future of a Super Bowl window derailed over what happened after an interception.
It flies in the face of what I've been saying since 2021. If he doesn't try to make that tackle, what are we talking about right now with the Browns? And you say whatever you want, it's much better than what we've been talking about.
Yes, Baker's still here. Like you could legitimately make a call and say that he could still be here.
If he doesn't hurt his shoulder, he is still here. Now, you could say he's grossly overpaid and that he's not competitive with these, but you can't, because we grossly overpaid for somebody else who didn't even come near his time in Cleveland. Talking about Baker's time in Cleveland and Deshaun Watson. So anything that we'd probably be talking about right now is better than anything said about Deshaun Watson and everything else that's happened.
Now, here's what I was thinking.
But so Chase Daniel says this, and he's the former NFLer. I'm not. He spent a lot of time in the league. It's been documented.
Let me ask you this. Is there a difference? Because I'm in agreement with you. I agreed with you. After the Baker thing, I said these quarterbacks can never try to tackle guys ever again. It is very scary out there. But then also part of me wonders, is there a difference, and people are going to roll their eyes at this, is there a difference if you're number one overall pick, if you're Trevor Lawrence in your rookie year doing this situation, or Andrew Luck in your rookie year, Baker Mayfield as a rookie, he was the number one overall pick, or obviously that was a few years later. And somebody who is doing everything he can to make a football team. Because that's what this is. People have got to realize.
I'm not making Shedeur Sanders my quarterback for the future based on him tackling a guy after an interception.
I think you're right. I'm talking about how is that met within the locker room? Did they look at different guys by stature, by where they were taken, maybe by their money sometimes? Because these judgments all get made in real life. Is that something that would happen in a locker room? Would people be like, hey, is Shedeur too good to help us out and go after?
What did Chase Daniel say? Did he say locker room in the spot? I thought he did.
Yeah,
did he mention locker room in that clip?
But I'm asking, is that realistic, or do other players in the locker room know, like, hey, Shedeur's as tough as they come. He's been doing everything he can to help this team in unenviable circumstances. Like, we're not going to ask him to go out there. The only thing I would say after watching him, because I didn't even realize this, I missed this completely. I certainly wasn't going to criticize him for any of that. He had a tough enough day as it was, but his head's got to be on a swivel either way. I've seen guys headhunt in that scenario, and
I don't think that happens anymore.
Okay,
I don't think that happens. Like, this isn't Warren Sapp anymore.
He's kind of if you're just standing there.
Yeah,
man. You're right. When we were watching football, we were younger. Guys sound like such a boomer. Guys got lit up, and not just fifth round picks. Like John Elway would get lit up, like anybody would. Guys would wait the entire season to get a chance to go and put somebody out.
You've had situations where quarterbacks have thrown picks and then been washed out by guys saying, he's trying to make a tackle, now I'm making a block. And it's been I know we've had this discussion on Sports Talk Radio before. And if he would have chased after him, yeah, probably somebody might have seen him, and you can't do a blindside block, but somebody could have washed him out. But I just thought of it, man, if he gets hurt, like when he went down against Tennessee, was it Tennessee or San Francisco? Was it San Francisco?
One play,
yeah.
When Dylan came in.
When he went down against San Francisco, that was the worst case scenario. Whether you hate him or love him, I want to see him play. He's got to play. And when he went down, I go, please, for the love of God, don't do this. I got to know one way or the other.
Yeah.
I think I know which direction the Browns are going to go, but I want to know, for our own personal edification as fans and as on the air, I want to know one way or the other. So he can't get hurt. And I know what Chase Daniel said, but I don't want him chasing after a guy who he throws a pick to. But at the same token, I don't think I'd want Dylan Gabriel doing it. I don't think that's the one comparison I will make with Dylan Gabriel. And I know you're about to go off on weird comparisons with Dylan Gabriel coming up here at 8:20. But damn it, I just don't want any of these guys doing it because I think you only risk making the situation worse. Maybe I'm just being a sissy about it. 216-474-0092. I'm going to get to you guys on this because there's people who want to get in on this. And Rat Boy and the Hog, the neutral zone with now the old guys are all talking about comebacks. It's coming up at 8:45 on The Fan. Tom Merriman and Merriman.
touchdowns, and the Steelers are 8-6, one game up on the Ravens for first place in the AFC North. The Dolphins had their 4-game winning streak snapped at 6-8. Miami eliminated from the AFC playoff race. Get all the latest Browns content filtered right to your phone during the regular season by following the Browns playlist and 92.3 The Fan on the Odyssey app. Headline sports news every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
A comparison we've never made and we never will make on this show, coming up in moments. There are people who agree with me. Brown, do you agree or not agree? Shedeur should never try to make a tackle on an interception.
I agreed with you. The only provision I put in there is...
I need football guys.
He should not be standing around...
I need real football guys.
Kind of in shock.
What do you want him to do? How do you
fall down
look?
to the ground like there's an intruder? Get down. Play dead.
Like a possum.
Right.
There's a brown bear around?
Brett Van Hart used to do that. He used to play possum, and he would lull his opponent into a false sense of security, and then... boom, he would start to go to work with his workmanlike approach.
Been a lot of pro wrestling on this show today. Old pro wrestling.
Yeah, none of the new stuff.
Read the stuff that you got over there.
Total Browns move on X says Dan Marino had it in his contract. He didn't have to make tackles or interceptions.
That, of course, social media reaction brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store.
Then... One Rick YD says Jaden Daniels tried to chase down an interception against the Vikings. Go watch the outcome. Now he's shut down for the season. So, the days of being a hero.
Which, by the way, people were tweeting that at me yesterday going, hey, you and Lima had this thing about people being shut down for the year.
I said
Jaden
the last
Daniels
week.
was injured, though. He was injured. There's a difference. But I didn't even fight you on that very much. I was like, I want to make sure I'm right about this. But go ahead, continue about this.
So just, a few people have kind of made note. I do think it's changed. You trying to be a hero out there, you just got to be so careful because if you're Shedeur Sanders, this is it. You go out there and you injure a hamstring. Forget about getting hit. You start running in an opposite direction that you weren't expecting to, and then boom, hamstring time. Then you're done for the year. Like, guys, we're done with Shedeur conversation about him starting at the start of next year, most likely.
Probably done. Yeah, I don't want him trying to make a tackle. Now, this goes from Chase Daniel on his podcast. Now, Chase Daniels made $43 million as an NFL quarterback, even though he didn't play a whole lot as an NFL quarterback. This is his pod where he breaks down. He says, Shedeur Sanders fans are not going to want to see this. And he goes after Shedeur for what he doesn't do after the pick.
Here's the one thing I'm going to point out, and this is going to get on the coach's nerves, and you can get mad at me for pointing it out all you want. Watch Shedeur first before we get to the back view. After the interception, what are you taught as a quarterback? To not stand there. He was the only guy to not move to chase. Every other guy is chasing. I promise you that's getting talked about. Okay, I like the motion. He goes in, and then at some point, just maybe, you're never thinking he's going to make this crazy play where he tips it up and stuff like. Try to get it around him. But in my opinion, man, this play wasn't as bad as some people make it out to be, because I think it was, it's an interception. It's going to go down. But this dude right here just made a good play. I just think that you got to show a little bit of effort on the interception.
I disagree.
We need some football guys in here.
We need some football guys. If there's any football coaches out there, 216-474-0092. We are in this mess because of Baker Mayfield. This whole thing, the reason why you guys are cussing each other out and not going to each other's Christmas parties this year, all really starts at Baker Mayfield and that injury. That's all it all starts. Anthony Schwartz short arms it, alligator arms the pass. That pass gets picked off. Baker tries to make the tackle. Baker hurts his shoulders. Now Lima is showing me the play, and now I'm going to throw up all over the microphone. And the reason why we're in this mess all of a sudden right now is because Baker tries to make that tackle.
Oh, he was front and center.
And now oh my God, I forgot how bad that was. Guys, I remember exactly where I was. You want to know exactly? I got out, because I didn't see this live. I got out, I stopped at a Speedway in Twinsburg, got gas. I got out of my truck. Everything was good. This is like week 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is week 2. We're getting right. We're going to make the playoffs this year. Everything's great. This is going to go wonderfully. We're going to get this thing going. And I got out of my truck, and I got in my truck, and I'm driving. I had to pull over on the side of the road. I'm hearing Jim and Doug, and it was madness. In my head, I mean, Jim and Doug were kind of like, oh boy, but this is, and it's in that day changed the course of history for the Cleveland Browns as we know it. I don't want Shedeur. It didn't look good. His body language wasn't that great. Fine. I don't want him trying to make a tackle. But honestly, I wouldn't want Dylan Gabriel trying to make a tackle. You're only going to make the situation worse. You're really probably only going to make the situation. What are you going to run a guy out of bounds?
Well, that's the question. Is there a way to give the old thread the needle, give the old college try, where you try to get them to where you change their angle, they go out of bounds, and you're not getting hit?
No,
and if you're about to get hit, you go down.
You're just putting yourself in harm's way. And if you're not trying to get hit playing football, I don't want you in there because then you're going to get hurt.
It's also on the 20. It's not like it was an 80-yard return back to the end zone where you've got to
and honestly, what you want him giving some half-ass run? Is that what we want? I mean, this is ridiculous.
I'm surprised to hear that from him, from Chase.
But he said, this is what I'm doing, though. I'm going with his experience as a football player, as a professional in the locker room. He says this is getting talked about. So he would know over I, wouldn't I? Every time I go in the locker room, I'm trying to get the hell out of there. They're the guys who spend all that time in there. He's supposed to be the one who knows. Carson in Columbia Station. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, Carson.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I think it's definitely blown out of proportion. I think I played tackle at OU this past year, and I think it's more of, especially as an O-lineman, you just want to see make an effort, but don't actually make the play. Like, just shuffle over there. Look like you're giving effort. Just in the locker room, then you're going to see, like, hey, he cares.
Really?
He's trying to make a play. Yeah.
Because I turn around and I'd be like, man, because my whole thing of it is, like, you probably don't remember this, Carson. Like, there was a guy, Kevin, I'm talking down to you because it sounds like you're a kid and I'm so much older than you. I'm not trying to talk down to you here. Do you remember Kevin Green? He passed away a few years ago. Do you remember that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kevin Green. What made Kevin Green cool, and I'm saying this as a Browns fan, what made Kevin Green cool is that he was also a participant in pro wrestling. And I remember a feature they did on SportsCenter. It might have been Edge. It might have been the Countdown show years ago. He said, pro wrestling's like football. You go 100%. If you go 100%, the chances are you won't get hurt. Or there's less of a chance you're going to get hurt if you go 100% full out all the time. And so if he's just trotting over there and someone falls into him, like, I just don't want him to do that. I don't want him to be anywhere near it. You threw a pick. You're only going to make the situation worse. And I'm serious about this, Carson. I would say the same thing. I said the same thing about Baker, and I've said the same thing about every quarterback since. I'd say the same thing about Dylan Gabriel or Joe Flacco or Deshaun Watson or anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but it's more of just he's a fifth-round pick. Like, you just want to get in if you have to make a play. Like, you're not trying to make a play. You show the effort you're trying to get over there. Especially for guys that are trying to block and play for them, show that you care enough to get over there and try to make a play if need to be.
Now, Carson, I got one more before you go. Now, you said you played at OU last year. You played tackle, right?
Yeah.
Are you available Sunday?
I wish. I was with the Falcons rookie minicamp this year, but I wish.
Okay. Well, Carson, hey, you made it way further than a lot of guys listening. Thank you very much for calling in, and thank you very much for listening and the perspective here.
Congratulations on all your success.
I did ask.
That's awesome.
Yeah, played at OU. I did ask the question earlier if it mattered to people in the locker room that he was a fifth-round pick versus a first-round pick. I know that sounds crazy, but I do wonder, because he's trying to make a football team. I mean, Shedeur is auditioning to try to make a football team, earn a starting job down the road. But it's weird because it's a quarterback. He's not a linebacker.
Do you think it depends on what they already think of him, too?
And his last name and who he is?
Well, wait a minute. If they already because your last name could be your last name, and they could go, hey, he's a really great guy, and we love this guy being on this team.
Which we've heard that. We've heard those things.
Exactly. But if they liked him, and they go, hey, don't worry about it. It's tough. This is a tough business. It's the way it goes. Play in the next one. Or if they didn't like him, going, just going to stand there and pout. Is that what you're going to do? 216-474-0092. Nick on the road. Nick, you're next up on the Fan. Hello.
Hey, guys. I think it's situation specific. Have to, go back to the fateful week 2 when Baker got hurt. They're coming off of a playoff run. They lost in week 1 to Kansas City. They're not looking to fall to 0-2. So he throws the pick. So he goes to make a play. The Browns are 3-9. You really think I'm going to criticize Shedeur Sanders for not going to make a tackle for a game that we're, what were they down? 2 scores already?
Exactly.
You're 3-9.
Exactly, Nick. And what are we trying to do? Are we or are we not trying to evaluate him?
Well, sure, exactly. We're trying to evaluate it. There's absolutely no chance I'm going to criticize a guy, at 3-9 for not going to make a tackle in a game that they clearly weren't going to win already when they were down, 2+ scores, which is sad in and of itself to say that. But I think the other thing to think about is kind of Chase Daniel's background, right? He's Rudy. Now, don't get me wrong. He made a ton of money, but Chase Daniel was a career backup. Anytime he got into a game, he was going to go all out to maybe no longer be a backup. So I think, his perspective,
he was undrafted.
Is probably a little bit different as well.
Boy, that's interesting.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate the call.
That's not a bad point. So you can understand the perspective. That's why I asked. Like if you're Trevor Lawrence, if you're the guy that's been anointed, a long time ago. Hell, I mean, Shedeur.
Kevin
Shedeur has been talked about since his high school days.
Longtime NFL coach Kevin Spencer in the area listening says, "Stay away," all caps. Stay away.
I love this one. This one from
great song as well.
This one from Focus Don J Rod says QBs need to chase after an interception like baseball players join a fight on the field. Make it look like you're going to do something, but you're trying to stay in the picture long enough to make it look like you are.
Everybody's just grabbing each other's shirt. Yeah, you got to go out there. You don't need to fight anybody, but you better be out there.
The bullpen guys talking to the other team on the way out.
Honestly, I just don't want them in harm's way. I hope if you wanted to, take the most absurd angle ever. If it's at the 20-yard line, take a 90-degree angle. Oh, I was trying. Yeah.
If there was 80 yards of field, he could have at least taken an angle that looked like effort. Any angle at 20 yards is straight back to the goalpost, which isn't even near where the play was.
There you go. Then he could have ran into the goalpost. Then what? Then what are we doing? I want Shedeur to take the angle take a Streetsboro youth football business decision angle. If I would yell at you if you were playing in the secondary for making a business decision on that angle, that's the type of angle I want Shedeur to take. Or Dylan Gabriel, or Joe Flacco, or Kenny Pickett, or Gary Danielson, or Todd Philcox. It doesn't matter. I don't want my quarterback trying to make a tackle. I understand that that's not maybe a football guy mentality. Chase Daniel feels different. I think it comes down to, do they like the guy or do they not like the guy? If they like the guy and they think that he has a possibility to be their franchise quarterback, maybe they're like, hey, you stay away, don't even bother with it. But if you were a guy that they didn't like in the first place, I don't know how much. I assume the locker room likes the guy. I'm going to assume it. But if they were a guy that they didn't like, they go, okay, just, stand back there and feel bad for yourself. That's going to make the situation a lot better, ain't it? Mike in Collinwood, home of the Railroaders. Hello, Mike.
Man, 1st round pick, 5th round pick, undrafted. I do not want my quarterback trying to make no tackles.
Thank you.
I'm telling my quarterback, first of all, protect yourself because you got 11 maniacs trying to take your head off.
Thank you.
And second of all, these quarterbacks have never probably practiced tackling in their careers. Like, the first thing he's going to do is try to throw a shoulder in there, and then it's going to be Baker all over.
Which is what happened. You're exactly right. We watched the Baker thing over and over again.
Thank you so much. 216-474-0092. Craig in Akron. Craig, go.
Hey, these guys are paid way too much money to stand around. I don't care. Even if once you screw up, you need to fix that. You need to go get that guy.
Kenny, if you got time to leave.
Who is? Oh, that's the worst ever.
Yep.
If you're a manager at a restaurant and you say you ain't got time, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean, just let you know everybody hates you. Craig, thank you for the call, I guess. So it doesn't matter. Who's your quarterback over there at Avon? Like, name names. I'll say it like this.
His name's Dawson Tinbrink.
Okay. Dawson, I know that we have NIL in Ohio now, but I don't want Dawson trying to make a tackle. I don't care how much you're paid.
I agree.
I don't want Dawson trying to make a tackle.
If you try to make a tackle.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
What did you say? Say it again.
No, you're never going to hear that one again. That one's going right back in the holster.
Damn it! I'm sorry I missed it.
Save that for week 3 at Lake Catholic this year.
Wherever your local high school is, I don't want your high school quarterback making a tackle either. Zach Jackson coming up. James Vanderbeek in Varsity Blues. He tried to make a tackle after the pick. No, don't want it. Did he or did he not get washed out on that play? AC/DC playing in your head. You're hungover. Miss Davis dancing around in your face and your memories.
Vanderbeek was also in the show I referenced.
Yes.
So you did hear it.
There you go. Pacey and that teacher, that was pretty hot, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
that was
about.
hot stuff. Dawson's Creek wasn't bad. Except for the winter episodes where they just threw a sheet down on the ground. Go back and look that up.
What?
Oh, yeah, that was a COVID watch back in the day. And I looked up there and go, that ain't right. And Liz goes, what? I'm looking at the thing and go, he just laid a sheet down. They're walking on top of a blanket right now. That's not snow. She's like, boy, we got to get out of this COVID stuff. I go, yeah, I know it. Coming up next, the Neutral Zone with Rat Boy and the Hog. Now all the old guys are thinking about making a comeback. Speaking of old guys, Zach Jackson going to join us at 9 on The Fan.
All right, time to think about how.
And not only is Kansas City out of the playoffs officially for the first time in a decade, but Patrick Mahomes with a torn ACL and LCL that he underwent surgery for yesterday. Now, this is from Rich Eisen's show yesterday on ESPN. They talked about the impact that the Chiefs-less playoffs will have for the fans.
With the Kansas City Chiefs not making the playoffs, first time in the Mahomes era, you're going to miss them. You're going to miss the Kansas City Chiefs when the AFC playoffs are hitting. You're going to miss the buzz. You're going to miss the pizzazz. The AFC playoffs will have less juice to it without the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. League's more fun when the Chiefs are good.
Do you think we're going to have a lack of star power in the playoffs?
Wrong. It's all now whether or not Josh Allen can take his team to a Super Bowl and win it, because this is going to be seen as the best year ever where he has a chance to do it, even though the NFC's tough. And I guarantee if they bow out of the playoffs for whatever reason possible, it's going to be Josh Allen can't get the job done. This is all set up to go against Josh Allen. Josh Allen becomes the big star.
I agree with you, but it needed to be Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes.
Maybe it did. But
and that to me is, I'm not going to say there's an asterisk by it or anything like that.
It was going to be that way anyway.
Work like that.
It wasn't going to be that way anyway, though.
I just think it's going to be really bizarre not having, Tony Romo with Jim Nance at Arrowhead, or this year it wouldn't have been Arrowhead. They would have had to go on the road every single week. But there is something a little bit missing for me in that. I'm a little bit bummed about it as much as I had fatigue. But also, they were a tough watch. So it's not like they were that entertaining. And you know what's so funny? This isn't the NBA where, the finals are not going to have LeBron James or Steph Curry. Ratings are going to go down. The ratings will literally stay the same or probably go up. That's the crazy thing about the NFL.
One other team fighting for a playoff spot is the Indianapolis Colts, who lost to the Seahawks this past weekend. Started 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, who threw for 120 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. They are sticking with the 44-year-old quarterback, and Coach Shane Steichen explaining his reasoning on Monday.
Him being off for that long, obviously there was some unknown, but for him to go out there and do what he did to put us in a position to win in a hostile environment after that long of a layoff was pretty impressive. Getting us into the right plays, managing the game. I thought he was phenomenal in that regard. On the sidelines, his leadership, all those things that he brings to our team will be beneficial, for all of us.
What do you make of the Colts going back to Rivers this week?
I love this story for 1 week exactly. It was awesome to see. It was kind of sad when he fell down and got back up. Kind of funny as well. And then, he had a chance to win the game down the stretch, and it was the defense that gave in. So I thought this was a great story. This was a 1 week only story. I don't want to see Phillip Rivers ever again. I do question, Kenny, how many of the close losses this year that we've had, whether it was Cincinnati in week 1 or just run through the gamut, the Vikings game, if we would have had that exact performance out of Phillip Rivers, how many of those close games would we have won?
2 or 3?
I kind of feel that way. What does that tell you about quarterbacking in today's NFL? That so many teams are just throwing quarterbacks out there that give their teams no chance to win. He gave his team a chance to win that game.
It's funny. It's funny you bring up the situation with quarterbacks in the NFL, because this was from yesterday. It was on Jack Hillgrove's Twitter. Ben Roethlisberger was being interviewed before the Steelers win over the Dolphins, and he was asked whether he can make a return to the NFL.
Right this minute? No, but if I had a little work, I could. Listen, my right arm works just fine. I promise you that. Yeah. It's the rest of my body I worry about.
We've heard from Big Ben. We've heard from Matt Ryan, who said some things earlier this week. Is it a weird situation in the NFL where these guys are saying they could come out of retirement and do just as good?
There's a difference between Big Ben. Big Ben has never really been the worker that some of these guys are. And he has his 2 Super Bowls. He's happy where he is. Matt Ryan got as close as you can get without winning one.
So here's what Big Ben would do. If he were in there for the Browns, he would take the snap, and funny, he would do some of the things Shedeur did. He would try to dance around and then just chuck the ball long. That's what it would be. I don't know how long that would last. And those final years, he was woefully inaccurate. Like all those deep balls. Remember, he had built chemistry with certain guys. And once that was gone and he was a shell of himself, that was a tough watch those last few years with Pittsburgh. He was not good.
No, and it was a big question of how many games he was going to play and if he was going to go every single week. I think that every guy, it's the same thing anytime anybody gets some sort of opportunity. You think about it, you kick it around. What if they called me? If there was any possibility. I think that life has changed. The body has changed, especially on athletes. Guys are physically able to go a little bit longer because of science and everything else. So maybe Phillip Rivers.
There is one name
inspires somebody. Who
that I think could come in and play and be okay on a good team.
Who?
Derek Carr.
What's he up to right now?
I don't know.
Podcasting.
I feel like Derek
With his
Carr.
brother.
Derek Carr could step in tomorrow, right?
Yeah, because it's only was last year, right? He still played last year.
I wonder if he got calls.
Yeah, I wonder. He probably did. Yeah, that's good. That's good thought there, Tone.
Another quarterback people may have questions about after this season is Joe Burrow, who was frustrated over the Bengals' shutout loss to the Ravens and knocked them out of the AFC playoffs. And Burrow still confident in his game despite the Bengals' past few struggles.
I want everything on my plate. I feel confident in all those guys in the locker room today. There's not a team in the NFL that would have won the game today if I was the quarterback.
Team's record is headed in the wrong direction. Do you think your play is slipping down the slope in the wrong direction over the last couple of years?
No, I feel very confident in how I've played. Obviously, today, in my opinion, is an outlier. I think I've been consistently great for years and years and years.
It was all over the map there. He's like, I was as bad as anybody could have possibly quarterback today, but my play has been really great over all the years that I've played football. He is really having trouble coming to terms with... if you looked at the crowd, I showed Ken during one of the breaks. We think that we have a desolate stadium in week 16, 17, or 18, or takeovers by the other team. Who did they play again? Baltimore?
Baltimore.
That place was empty, and it was sad. That was unbecoming of an NFL city. And did you see they got in trouble for the snow? They didn't do the snow removal that like Buffalo's famous for every year. If Cleveland had a big game down the stretch and there was snow and all they would have to do is put one tweet out, there would be hundreds of people coming with their shovels to take care of it in Cleveland. Cincinnati, it was just snow. There was snow like a foot up in the air in the stadium. It was sad.
It was bad. It was a bad look. I don't know what it's going to look like for us. I want to see how many people are going to be going out to the stadium and they're going to be excited about Shedeur.
The weather's supposed to be decent this Sunday, right?
But that was like a big thing for a lot of fans across the country. It's like, well, it's only 20 degrees. People aren't going to sit in 20. I go, yes, they do. They're excited about the quarterback. Yes, they do.
Did you see Chicago? Did you see the crowd?
Yeah. That team's good, though.
They stood the entire game.
I know, but that team's good.
Behind the end zone, it looked like the dog pound. I could not believe they all had drinks. They all had drinks, and I'm like, their hands have got to be full. Well, maybe they were warm drinks.
You saw that one video of the guy opening his RC Cola, and it froze as he opened it. It was crazy.
Yeah. We've been deprived of that, obviously. As much as I hate the weather, going to the games in the cold, if the Browns were good, it would be awesome, and this whole show would be lining up. Ken would take his shirt off.
Do you have a market? I'm not taking my shirt off.
You would. In the 537, you would.
Do you have a market watch or anything for Sunday, or is it too soon?
No, I had it earlier in the week. We didn't do it on the air. But it was much better than it's been.
Well, I'm not going to put you on the spot. Let's keep rolling with this.
Well, that's it for About Last Night.
Oh, no, what is it called?
Or the Neutral Zone with Rat Boy and the Hog. Excuse me.
Right now, get in is the highest it's been in a month. It's $50.
Okay, so there you go. So he played. He was good against Tennessee. I know yesterday or Sunday wasn't that great, but apparently there's interest. Good. See?
Now, is that Buffalo?
And it's going to be in the 40s.
Are those Buffalo fans from Erie, PA that are juicing up?
Guys,
because the tickets in Buffalo have been over $300 the whole year. This is way cheaper.
I thought it was supposed to be in the 30s on Sunday.
Like Saturday's 50.
We have a warm up.
Well,
50.
Sunday is when they play.
Sunday is still. I mean, it's going to drop. Yeah, it's still going to be in the low 40s.
What was the thing Mitch said the one day about the weather on Monday or something like that?
So we'll find out. Well, no, we were talking about which quarterback could play.
That's right.
And he also said,
I know the weather's getting colder and the mic's getting hotter.
Leon's getting larger.
That was great. Sunday, high 35. Most cloudy.
Move this game to Saturday.
No.
Flex it to Saturday.
Why? No. Have it right there. All right. We're going to have Zach. Zach had to bail. I'm sure it's a good circumstance. Coming up in 5 minutes, this isn't an endorsement of future plans. When you hear this, you're going to freak out. I'm just letting you know how difficult this process is going to be. Ken Carman, Tone Master General. If you're on your way to work, take us with you to work on the free Odyssey app. The YouTube is live. It's up. It's fantastic. Watch us on YouTube live. Friends, Ken Carman and Anthony.
is going to be 3 or 4 years of utter pain and horrid play. I don't care who the coach is. I don't care who you get rid of or who you hire. They are 4 years away.
Whenever you need to talk about the Browns, we got you covered. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
We are looking for a winner. Enter the code ORANGE at 923thefan.com before 10 a.m. Your chance to see the Cavaliers take on the Charlotte Hornets in a City Edition matchup Monday, December 22nd, 7 p.m. Rocket Arena. Get your tickets at Cavs.com/tickets. Again, that's ORANGE at 923 The Fan before 10 a.m. All from the Cavaliers and Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan. I know they do have the Bulls, a home and home. Over 3 days, the Bulls had lost like 8 in a row. They're terrible. But, you know, we've had we've been big favorites in a lot of these games. Oh, wait, we didn't say this and nobody cared, and we're going to move on quickly from this. Darius Garland cost them the win. And this went largely unnoticed at the end of regulation against the Hornets.
Browns. Talk Browns. Stop it now.
So in the NBA, when it's under 10 seconds and you're up 3, it's just common practice now. You foul. You try to get them to use up some time, and they were like 30 feet from the basket, and Garland instead tries to like draw a charge instead of fouling. The assistant coaches are signaling foul. Instead, it goes to overtime. We go scoreless and we lose the game. All our guys were gassed somehow, and we lose the game. Nobody seems to care.
I stopped paying attention halfway through what you were saying.
Most people did.
Still been looking for all those tickets I was supposed to buy to go watch it.
Well, now you just threw off
shot.
Well, now you
that's a total cheap shot. I'm sorry that I was happy that Donovan Mitchell was playing like one of the best players in the league, and I thought it was fun to watch him.
Do you think still do 5-on-5 in the NBA, right?
Well, 1 out of 5 is pretty good.
Shut up and let me ask you a question.
20%.
Shut up.
That's what Lonzo Ball's shooting from the field
Let me run the
this year.
show here for a second. Shut up. Quiet. I don't mean it like that. I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question. Are the
1
Cavs?
for 5 is what he shoots for 3 for the first quarter.
I want to ask a question. Let me ask the question right now.
Go ahead.
What? I'm waiting for you guys to cut me off.
I'm not.
Are the Cavs lucky the Browns are struggling?
Yes.
216-474-0092.
Yes, they are.
If the Browns were doing really, really well, though, I still just think people would be focused on the Browns doing really, really well. The Browns are struggling mightily. So I think the Cavs would just benefit it being at the beginning of the season anyway.
I think they're benefiting from guys like me that don't care about the rest of the NBA. I care about the Cavs, but not until after football season's over. I'm into football right now.
You guys do know what tonight is, by the way.
Ooh.
You guys don't, do you?
I don't know.
Tuesday night.
See, this is the problem with your sport over there, buddy.
Okay.
With your association.
Oh, is it a cup final?
It's the cup final tonight.
Okay, the semis were awesome.
Yeah.
The semis were awesome. All 4 teams were doing everything they could to try to win. They felt like playoff games. They were officiated like playoff games. I know most people probably just didn't watch it, but they were awesome games.
What are you talking about? I was invited to like 3 different cup watch parties.
Did they play the music?
No, because
at the watch parties?
Nobody had a cup watch party.
What do you mean?
Nobody cares.
What do you mean nobody had
cares
a watch
about the
party?
cup. Nobody cares about the cup.
Okay, are you guys excited about the Christmas Day slate of NFL games? Because they all suck now.
There's 2 things that are apparently real. There's 2 things that are not real in real life and only big on the internet.
You excited
when it
about
comes to
Broncos and
recently.
Chiefs?
Yeah, why not?
Of course.
Who's the quarterback for the Chiefs?
Gardner Minshew.
Actually, that might pull me.
The one guy that you've said for years, wish we had him. He'd at least be fun.
You've had some wild. You took Gardner Minshew over Baker Mayfield one time. How dare you have a spot in this studio?
I think there were 2 straight years he had better advanced numbers than Baker.
Oh, God. What are the advanced numbers based on? I can find any bit of numbers. I bet I can find numbers somehow, some way that I'm a better passer than Phillip Rivers.
You need me to run a chart?
I'm telling you.
I'll run a chart.
Which, by the way,
so fast it'll make your head spin.
Keith also pointed out that Derek Carr can't actually throw a bit.
We don't know how his recovery process is going, Keith.
Okay, whatever.
I love our boss.
I just
you guys said something stupid, so now I come
corrected.
after you.
Whoa,
well,
if you're not going to, if we're not going to correct ourselves for stupid things, fine. He can go ahead and call us stupid.
His arm can't be worse right now than what I just saw from Phillip Rivers.
Yet, I'm pointing out is that it's still the early season because I'm still having a lot of people, and this isn't even a Surfside Cavs update, guys. This isn't even that. I brought up Jalen Tyson yesterday, and I said on the internet, because, that's where it's real. I said on the internet that I think that Jalen Tyson is becoming one of my favorite Cavs, even though the start of the season's been clunky. I had several people line up and go, well, they've had injuries. Well, this is by design. So there's still a lot of people who are pretty understanding here. The general public, I don't think they've kind of turned their attention yet because, I don't know, how could you look away from this car wreck that's going on right now over in Berea? But I think that it's distracted a lot of people, and I think they're being rather understanding with this team. Even though I tell you, I watched on Friday night, I was fit to be tied. I about had enough. Watching that game on Friday night in Washington, they got down big, and I'm going, can we just line up and blow a team out again? I got used to it last year, and maybe I got too used to it, and then I took it for granted. But I'm going, damn, man, we're losing to Washington. Washington sucks. They're not trying to win. They're a 3-win basketball team. There's nobody in the arena right now. This wasn't even a game that was scheduled. It's like a pickup game for crying out loud. And we're losing this basketball game, and we're losing this game by double digits.
It was bad.
I started to get really angry about it. And then they came back and won. I didn't even feel good about it. And honestly, neither did my 10-year-old. He's like, oh, I'm glad they beat this team. And then on Sunday, and it's a great day, 3:30, you're playing against another terrible suck-ass basketball team, and then what do? You go out there and play terrible suck-ass basketball in the overtime. You can't even hit a shot. You go 0 for 10 and lose.
They were all like within 6 feet of the basket, too, every single miss.
They're just pointing out.
I'd hope they throw the ball within 6 feet of the basket because those are really bad.
If the football season were already over, boy, we'd already be doing some bitching because this is just bad. Anyway.
Let's talk some Browns.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I have a Market Watch update coming up at 9:22 this morning. This isn't an endorsement of future plans. Was driving in this morning, heard WFAN, 4 a.m., listening to New York. They need a new head coach. The names that I was hearing for the Giants head coach, this is not an endorsement to keep anything going here. This has been bad. This is not good. And I think that probably both sides may need a separation after these next 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I think that's it. I think, though, that the names that are being thrown out there, this is not going to be a fun experience for anybody. I think they're probably going to make a move at the end of this year. Now, we can discuss whether or not it should be an either-or situation, fine. But I look at this and I think, man, this is not going to be a fun experience. Do you know the top 2 names that were brought up? You know the top 2 names. Folks, let me just tell you the top 2 names that were brought up by, it was Chris McMonagle who was hosting. And the names that were brought up, 1, Cliff Kingsbury. 2, Mike McCarthy. And this is supposed to be a better job. Is this or is this not supposed to be a better job than the Cleveland Browns? Unless you can argue it, then I'll just turn this into an argument. Which job is better, the Cleveland Browns job or the New York Giants job? I think a lot of people assume it's the Giants job.
How high you are on Jackson Dart, which has been very uneven. He's had awesome moments.
I got one guy who's been uneven, but has had awesome moments. I might have.
Shedeur Sanders has had awesome moments.
I might have a number 2 or number. I think they got I saw Daniel Oyefusi. I think he said 19%. I think they did the numbers, a 19% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick, which is better than what a lot of people will give you. So if you got a 19% chance, maybe it's better if you believe that much in Fernando Mendoza as a head coach. But that might be the only way it's a better job. But as of December 16th, would you or would you not say that that's a better job? So we get the secondary candidates from the Giants job. We compete with Tennessee with for whoever isn't Cliff Kingsbury or the non-Cliff Kingsbury or the non-Mike McCarthy. That's not going to be fun at all. Well, it doesn't mean to keep everything the status quo.
No, what'll be fun is would you want to hire another team's coach that just got fired? Could that be
maybe? But this is part of the reason I dread this stuff. Like even if Kevin and I didn't like, even if I didn't like the guy, even if I was like, nah, bad guy, don't like him. Like there was another guy I didn't get along with.
Well, I'll say every time there's a coaching pool, people don't understand this. 100% of the coaches will have flaws. And even the up-and-coming guy, his flaw is that hasn't been. He's up and coming. Like, he hasn't got the coaching experience.
Yeah.
So, there's always an easy way to call up a sports talk radio show and go, no, he's got a flaw, can't hire him. That's the easiest thing to do.
McCarthy's, like I got to give him credit as a good, solid, high floor head coach.
Right? High floor? Does everybody agree with that?
I think we would reach a point where we would be sitting here saying, is he the type of guy that can get us over the hump? Even though he's won a Super Bowl, for crying out loud. He is very arrogant. He is very egotistical, but there's a lot of guys who actually
Fake analytics guy.
That, by the way, and that's true about that. People say Kevin's egotistical. Go listen to Kevin and go listen to Mike McCarthy. That's egotistical. That's an ego on Mike McCarthy. But he's been a winner. He has been a winner. Cliff Kingsbury, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's great on paper. It's great on a whiteboard. There's some games where it actually looks great on tape.
He was awesome last year.
I don't get it. I never will. And if they get him, I'm going to have a sinking feeling in my heart. And I think a lot of people will,
I'd say I give him a ton of credit. Like, we went through this last week after one good half or whatever against Tennessee, where we were wondering who gets the credit for this. Is it the coach or is it Shedeur? And we said, well, guys, it's Shedeur. Shedeur gets 95% of the credit for how he played in the fourth quarter. But, there's been development there, whatever. Cliff does deserve credit. He's clearly good with quarterbacks. He clearly is a very good coach at developing
skills. As a
skills.
QB coach and as a coordinator, and there's somebody to oversee him, fine. But like he's been where? He's been in Washington. Now, Dan Quinn hasn't handled it the very best way this year, but obviously he was a darling last year. I think Dan Quinn is a pretty good leader of men in so many ways. If he has somebody to oversee him, I think that Cliff Kingsbury doesn't get in his own way. But when he's the head coach of a football team, I think he gets in his own way. And I'll let you guys know right now that you can see us on YouTube, because you couldn't at 6 a.m., the list is in this envelope right here. His name ain't on it. His name ain't on it. I'm open to anything, because when I heard on FAN, and we will probably be in their same situation as it sits right now, it was Kingsbury, it was Mike McCarthy, and then it became any offensive coach. I don't need it to just be an offensive coach. I need a guy who can lead and can delegate and lead by delegating, that can still trust, can find the right people that he believes can help him out, put them in a position to succeed, and then oversee them and be a leader. So I'm sure there's and by the way, there is a former head coach who's been fired in this envelope. I can tell you that right now. It doesn't need to be a guy we've never seen before. In fact, I might like quite the opposite. My number one pick may be a former head coach. I don't know. I'm not going to give it away just yet. It might be quite the opposite, because I need a guy that people can respect, that we're not sitting here bitching about accountability, that we're not looking over some of this stuff, that we're not complaining about why he hasn't fired assistants yet and all this other stuff. I need somebody who holds it down.
Well, and then I wonder too, and we will have when this happens, and I think we all know it's going to happen, that when a new coach comes in, they do what Sean Payton just did when he came into Denver. He said, goodbye, Jerry Jeudy, out. We need to.
Well, what's his contract situation?
So, that's what I'm wondering. What happens here? What are the immediate moves that get made with a new head coach here?
Wait a minute. I got to see his contract situation.
There's dead cap all over the place. Just assume this is going to be dead cap central here in Cleveland, because that's what it's going to be. Every guy, we're still paying Amari Cooper next year, I think. We're going to be paying all sorts of guys.
Cap hit.
Juan Thornhill, I think, is still getting paid next year. That's the way we do the contracts.
Oh, really? Dead cap $16 million next year.
All I'm saying is, I wonder, whoever comes in here, what those immediate moves are going to be to say, all right, you guys have been losers the last 2 years. That's what a new head coach will say when he comes in. You guys have been losers the last 2 years. You've got to go, you've got to go, you've got to go.
I think it's actually possible Jerry Jeudy wouldn't be here if he continued, if this stinks that bad and you go with a change. Jerry Jeudy might not be here. 216-474-0092. Safe for the rest of the year is a hell of a question. We did bring it up next on The Fan. Friends, Ken Carman here for DriveClassic.com. That's right, DriveClassic.com. I know car buying can be terrible, and holidays make it even more challenging. You want the great big bow. Well, guys, don't worry about any of the other craziness. Just get to DriveClassic.com. 18 different brands, and then you can go ahead and pick.
tomorrow night. Going to face the Bulls in the first of a back-to-back set against Chicago. Listen to The Fan Rewind weeknights 11 to midnight. All the best segments from all our shows can always listen on the Odyssey app. Headline Sports News every 20 minutes right here on 92.3 The Fan. From the University Hospital Sports Desk, I'm Jeff Thomas.
Market Watch. I'm being corrected. Fine, then it's not real. Then there's two things that aren't real. The thing I brought up earlier in this.
To make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
Go ahead.
$50.
Give your Market Watch.
$50.
That's
I
it.
got an outro now.
So there's two things that aren't real, that they only exist on the internet. Cavs understanding and Shedeur Sanders fans in Cleveland. Don't tell, people make them videos, and I got tagged in them videos a couple weeks ago because they're like, well, they're not going to come out and they're not going to watch in 20-degree weather. Yes, they do. Browns fans will come out, even if they're mad. If they believe in the quarterback wholeheartedly, which they didn't, and maybe they do after the Tennessee game, maybe they'll still come out. They will come out. It's part. Why do you think we had this big fight over whether or not to put a dome up or not? People did fight against the dome. Now, I think after time, more and more people are like, well, we might as well, if it's going to be freezing outside, we might as well go on in somewhere and take our coat off and be comfortable. I don't know where people stand on it anymore, but I think more people were more towards it. But there was a big fight for a long time about wanting to say, so cold weather doesn't seem to bother Clevelanders. Bad football bothers Clevelanders. Not having hope bothers Clevelanders. On the internet, it's craziness. Well, I can't do a show for the internet. I do a show for people in Cleveland. So do you think that there are people going, it's $50 now, maybe people believe more in Shedeur. But I can't say that because people are going, Ken, it's just Bills fans coming into town. All right, fine.
I do think there will be, obviously, we've known all year.
Yes, there's going to be Bills fans coming in.
Buffalo presence.
But there's not going to be Brown. So I want to know, is there anybody going to the game? Myles Garrett's a reason, yes. Are there people going to a game because
to get the record?
Are you going to the game also to see Shedeur? Do you want to see Shedeur play, or is this all on the internet not real? I'm dead serious with that question. I'm taking the con. I want to know if I'm right or wrong, and I'm more than willing to admit I'm wrong.
By the way, the
216-474-0092. Yes.
The last two Bills games in Buffalo are 7 times the price of what they are here. So if you're a Bill, and there are so many Bills fans. I'm in Bay Village.
You know why, right? You know why?
Real quick, I'm in Bay Village. I see Bills flags. I see at least 10.
That's why they call it
Bay Village alone.
Village.
And I imagine all those people are Bills Village.
Bay Village.
Bay Village.
Get out of here.
I like that even better. I guarantee all those people with Bills flags are going to this game and saying, whoa, that's way cheaper than going back home to Buffalo.
And they are, I've seen at least youth-wise, right? You saw the Mahomes jerseys pop up and the Joe Burrow jerseys pop up. The Josh Allens the last 2 years that I've seen, that I'm sure kids are getting Christmas present tickets to these games and those things. There's going to be more Bills.
Exactly. Why would I want Shedeur to fail? Why would anybody want Shedeur to fail? Aren't you guys tired of seeing your kids want jerseys of other quarterbacks? And maybe it won't work out, but why on earth would I want Shedeur to fail? Why? Even if I had my headset off and all this was all fake and I was just a liar and all this was just about business and entertainment, it doesn't help my business. You being a fan of other football teams and your kids being fans of other quarterbacks and on other teams does not help my business. It doesn't help Lima's business. Why on earth would I want that? I don't want that. Who wants it? Nobody.
If the Browns were good, I would have made so much more money. I'd be living in West Bay.
I want people to go.
South Central Bay.
Is there a West Bay?
Oh, West Bay is a different animal.
That town looks like it's 3 blocks. What do you mean there's a West Bay?
Well, West Bay's right over there by East Avon Lake, and it's
two different. Two different worlds. Might as well be 2 different time zones.
You're a kid. Are people gonna? I want people to go to the game for Shedeur and Myles.
Boy, the Myles thing, freeze right there. We haven't talked enough, obviously. Maybe do we not have the pulse of the Cleveland fan as much as we think we do? The Miles thing, he is how far away from the record?
2?
From setting the record, not tying the record.
1.5, I believe.
So if he gets 1.5 sack, that seems like a layup for him, especially because Josh Allen is somebody who is going to buy time. And when you buy time against Miles, what happens? He's eventually going to get to you.
He has 21.5, so he is one away. He's 1.5 away from breaking. I think
it's easier for Myles Garrett to get lots of sacks against a Josh Allen than Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is he'll see it at the line of scrimmage. He'll get 2 beats and he'll go, nope, throwing the ball down. Putting the ball in the dirt. That's it for this play. Josh Allen's going to try to keep plays alive. Folks, that's a recipe for that record going down this weekend at home against the Buffalo Bills. So, do you think by the end of this week, more people will get into that and realize, hey, we've got that. We've got the Shador part of things. Playing the role of the spoiler. If Buffalo loses, Miles, they're done for number 1 seed.
Is Miles and Shador enough to get you to go to the game?
Or are they already done for number 1 seed, but they're done for hosting in the first round because they can't win the division.
Right now they're a wild card team.
Yeah, but But how close are they to New England?
They're only a game behind New England, who's the 2 seed right now.
And they just beat New England.
They did.
I don't know. Would they split the season series?
I don't think they're going to win on Sunday, which hurts. But you can see history and you can evaluate Shador in person.
Does that history mean anything to anybody?
What?
Like seeing it's not a quarterback, it's a defensive end.
Oh, the history for Miles.
It's the greatest Brown of our lifetime and maybe ever.
I think it's one of the and also it's one of the last records that mean anything. We don't care about records anymore. Once they broke the Roger Maris streak, and then once Barry Bonds took it to an obscene level, nothing against that. It was a different time. I don't think people really care about streak. Cal Ripken broke that streak. Ever since then, I don't think people care about records as much.
Well, and with the added 17th game, it's important that he gets at these next 2 weeks.
It's important that he gets at these next 2 games.
That way we don't have to hear anybody say, well, they added a game.
Yeah, right. Yep. He's got to do it then.
That's exactly right.
And they've got eagle eye on his sacks now. We talked about that yesterday. They are not going to give him any cheapies. They are going to do everything they can to make sure this record is legitimate because for 20 years in the NFL,
tough sell.
They've been embarrassed by how that record got set. I'll give you another number. What about 10,363?
That was Joe Thomas's record.
Oh, I was hoping Ken would go, what?
Why wouldn't I think that?
And I could say, what? I thought you were a football guy.
I am a football guy. I know 10,363. That was the number before they officially retired Joe Thomas because they waited for Joe Thomas to go into the Hall of Fame so they could officially retire his number because the NFL frowns greatly, greatly, greatly upon teams retiring numbers. So a lot of people who want their favorite players' jerseys retired, their teams are going to be very, very, very reluctant to do so because the league puts a ton of pressure on teams to not retire jersey numbers.
10,363. Say it to your kids before bed. It should be.
Yeah, but he's not playing in the game. He hasn't played in 6 years.
Well, I just saw a guy come back from 5 years retirement.
They're actually about the same size right now.
216-474-0092. Let me go to the phones here. Brian and Menor.
Joe's
Hello,
got
Brian.
A better arm.
Joe's probably smart.
Hey, good morning, Ken. Good morning, Anthony. How you guys doing?
Doing okay, Joe. All right, Brian, go ahead.
We are going to the game this week, and I'm taking my son. Now, there's a caveat. I didn't pay for the tickets. The tickets were given to us, but to be transparent, we've been offered tickets earlier this year too. We just decided not to go. So primarily, we're going to see if Myles Garrett can get that record. Number one. Number two, I would say that my son's second favorite team is the Bills. He loves Josh Allen, and I will say one other thing, Ken. I kind of am rooting against Shador. I know that sounds terrible. That's blasphemy, but we really like this Mendoza kid a lot. And man, I'm telling you, I really want us to go get him. I just think he's going to be the next superstar. So that's really why we're kind of, we're cheering for that. Now, if Sanders has a great game, that'll be extra frosting on the cake, or even if he does really poorly, that'll make it interesting. But either way, yeah, we're looking forward to going this weekend.
I don't think you'll have to. See, that's right. The only thing I disagree with you on, Brian, and thank you very much for the call. First, you can go with free tickets. There's plenty of people who have been offered free tickets for games in the past and haven't gone. Remember the tailgate very, very well, which was a Cincinnati Bengals game from what people remember. I thought it was a Steelers game. I was drunk that day. You can go with free tickets. That's no big deal. The rooting, I don't think you have to root against Shador. I don't think you do. Guys, if they bring in new people, I think you have to understand that they're probably going to go after a quarterback. Or they're probably going to go after Fernando Mendoza regardless. So I think we have to get ready for that. I know there's more and more people. We don't need this, we don't need that, we don't need that quarterback, we need the other things. I'd like to have a better situation too. But they know it, I know it, you know it. It doesn't get going without a quarterback. They're going to want to pay off that investment. You got 2 there, and we'll do the same thing next year because guys are staying in it longer. You think we are not going to have these arguments about Arch Manning and Julian Sayin and Lenore Sellers? We're going to have these arguments about these guys. Whether or not they're that good, we will talk ourselves out of guys. Now, I am much more excited about Fernando Mendoza than I am Dante Moore. I have to admit that. I think there's obviously much more of a risk. There's people who disagree, and I got 4 months after the season to listen to that. But I think they're going to go after Fernando Mendoza as best they possibly can. If they end up winning this game, which I don't think they will, or any other game, if they end up winning a game or 2, then yeah, maybe it naturally takes them out of it. Or if Shedeur puts up a Herculean effort. But they can't get out of their own way. So I'm banking on something that really isn't realistic. 216-474-0092. Joe in Erie, Pennsylvania, listening on the free Odyssey app. Joe, go ahead.
Hello, Ken. Hey, I love the show, guys. First-time caller. Yeah, I just want to say I went to the Tennessee game just to see Shedeur. I'll be going to the Buffalo game to see Shedeur as well. From Erie, heading out there, and I don't care about the cold. But I am hoping that he can pull off a win here, man, so I can take that option right out of their playbook, you know what I mean? And they're stuck with him because I think he's got something, and I sure as hell hope Myles Garrett can break that record this week. It'd be nice to be there in person.
There you go. Another person going. Thank you very much for the call, Joe.
We have talked honestly, relatively speaking, we have talked very little about this show in particular. I've heard other shows talk about it more. It's tough because we're breaking down the quarterback situation every day and the future of Kevin Stefanski. We're all enamored with Myles. It's just like we run out of things to say about Myles Garrett chasing the record. But it's good to hear callers saying, yeah, we're going to see him break the record. That does mean something to somebody.
I think Bills fans are nice. I like Bill. Do you like Bills fans? I like Bills fans.
That was one of 2. It was Pittsburgh and Buffalo that stood up for us when we lost our team.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh, people hate the Steelers, so it's like, okay, fine. They don't want to. Like, I'm not sitting here begging everybody to go to the Steelers game. That's a different animal. The Bills, there's a lot to like about the Bills. Josh Allen's a likable guy. Those are likable fans. We're all in the same area. Yes, what do you got over there? Do you have something over there?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I think you'll say that unless Josh Allen starts becoming that perennial Super Bowl winner guy. You said the same thing about Mahomes, and then now it's good riddance, and I get that. I totally get it.
I said that about Mahomes. You noticed I backed off a lot of that because of we didn't have a guy in the fight.
Yeah.
I thought for sure we were going to have a guy in that conversation about having to get over that hump.
No, I'm talking about everyone saying they're such a likable team, right?
Yeah.
Like, the last 2 years, nobody said the Chiefs are a likable team. I think right now the Bills are a likable team until they start winning and you're not winning. Whether the Browns are same old Browns or become some new version of the Browns that actually win games, if they do this for 5 or 6 years,
you're right,
because they've already started it. But
yeah, you're right. No, I think you're correct about that because then if they continue to win, then it's going to be about. I think that it turns into Mahomes getting back over again and doing that. No, you're right about that. I feel though that I'm just going with this game as it is right now. Yeah. If we get ourselves in a situation where we can be good and we can fight with them at some point, we'll discuss it. But I think as of right now, I look at the Bills. I see a lot of Browns fans looking at this game going, I hope Shedeur plays well, and I hope Myles breaks the record. And then after this game, I don't think they expect to win. So I think after this game, they go, I hope the Bills win the Super Bowl. Those fans over there, they're a lot like us. I think they deserve it. I think a lot of people are going to be hoping that the Bills win the Super Bowl after this. Likable people, likable team, likable coaching staff.
Who's the other team for a Clevelander to root for right now in the playoffs? AFC wise,
maybe,
and obviously
the AFC.
You can't. The older crew knows. The older fans here know that you can't root for Denver.
Right. No,
that's never happening.
No,
absolutely.
Now Houston, CJ Stroud.
I'm not rooting for Houston.
But see, this is the thing. Like we made a trade with Houston, obviously,
they've been really good lately.
They beat us in the playoffs, but their quarterback is likable, and he seems to be getting better and better. Their defense is insane.
They're not going to root for the Chargers because of Harbaugh. That ain't going to happen.
Oh.
So in the AFC, it's the Patriots, maybe? Do you like Drake May that much?
Maybe.
Do you Vrabel?
Vrabel.
Oh, okay.
I still think there's a long memory there. They haven't been bad for that long. They're only bad for a few years.
Do we really want to see them experience another decade of success with their quarterback?
Remember what you did with the Red Sox in the ALCS years ago, down 3-0, and then you guys created a monster. And Tom Brady, America's sweetheart, and then you guys couldn't stand him for 2 decades.
Yeah, we ready for another decade of 425 at Gillette and that weird, I think part of the stadium looks like it's a high school stadium.
I got people out the wazoo here. It's over 30 degrees on Sunday. Supposed to be partly cloudy. That means partly sunny. Somewhat sunny.
Give me the sunny part.
Partly cloudy, but a little bit sun. So it ain't going to be that bad. Miles can break the streak. You get to evaluate Shedeur live. Is that enough to send you to the game? 216-474-0092. And table that discussion for tomorrow, Tone, because we haven't noticed because we've been so preoccupied with the Browns. Something's getting rusty over there in that building. There's something. You just read something to me during the break. There's something going on over in that Rocket Arena that I think we need to talk about coming up tomorrow morning. I got to put my thumb on it when we come back here, but I'm telling you right now, 6 o'clock tomorrow, that might be something. Ken Carman, Tone Master General, live on the Fan. Northeast Factory Direct at northeastfactorydirect.com. Ain't nothing rotten from within in your house. Nope, because you went to Northeast Factory Direct. You got the best. You got the very best in furniture. You got the very best in living room furniture, just like we did. Just like our friends did. We had friends drive in from Youngstown, went to Northeast Factory Direct, still saved. Still saved. That's how much better they are. Because
Now all you have to worry about is Penn cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
The college football playoff is set, and the Buckeyes are on the path to repeat as national champions. Whenever you need to talk college football, we've got you covered. We are Sports Radio 92.3 The Fan.
Back on the fan, back on the fan, back on the fan, back on the fan, back on the fan. Yeah, something stinks over in that building. I want to get to that tomorrow morning. You gave me that little article, that little doodad, and I go, something on Friday when we were talking with Jason, and now you. It ain't just 15 and 12 and injuries, and they're trying new things. Something ain't going well.
You want a new
there.
diabolical poll question?
Yeah, I want to do a diabolical poll question.
Crushed.
Write it.
We'll get crushed. Mitch, I'll tell Mitch put it up right now.
Hold on, just pass. Can I make the decision to do the diabolical poll question, or
can I tell you the question first?
And then can I decide?
Owen, then you have to decide if he can decide.
Okay, I'll decide if Ken can decide.
I'll poll Mitch and Owen.
What is it?
That's right.
What
and
is
Keith
it?
Breaks all the tiebreakers.
What is it? Well, you know Keith's going to say yes because he just wants people.
contact.
Yeah, he just wants people to click.
We're just monkeys. That's all we are.
That's all we are. That's all I am. Just
an
with
organ
a
grinder?
typewriter and when the guy called you the monkey to my organ grinding the one day, those were the dark days of the show. Yeah, we're just sitting in here with typewriters and cigarettes hanging out of our mouth.
All right.
Go ahead.
Who goes first, Atkinson or Stefanski? Owen?
You can't do that yet.
Why? Wait a second.
Because there's no context. Lima, do you believe that the fans are distracted because of how bad the Browns are?
Yes.
Let me go to the phones real quick, okay? We've not been able to stay with anything for the last 40 minutes.
No, that's what you get.
This is like it's like I'm sitting in a bathroom with you right now talking about solving all the world's problems.
And opening up a new business plan.
Not that we've never done that before. Larry in Cleveland, hello.
Hey guys, check out your show.
Larry. Thank you very much. Larry, I want to ask you a question.
From your lips to God's ears.
Larry, I want to ask you a question. Larry,
within 15
Larry, do you believe, Larry, do you believe that the Cleveland Browns and their struggles distract the Cleveland sports fans from the Cleveland Cavaliers?
No way.
Wow, take that, Tone. Whoa. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
This is why everybody got their own craft. It's about leadership.
Larry, you got to get off speakerphone.
Yeah, all right. I'm off the speakerphone, sir.
No, I don't believe you.
Wow.
It still sounds like you are.
Take a lie detector.
A lie.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you now because now you're off the speakerphone. At least you're closer.
Can you hear me better now?
I hear you better now.
It's
Go
getting
ahead.
better.
Go ahead.
First of all,
it's going to be in our
it's
studio.
called identity. We got no identity right now. And only Shador trying to get his identity for us, but we got no receivers that give him no type of confidence of catching the ball.
No, the identity we have is negative. You're right, but it's just this terrible team that Myles Garrett plays on.
It's like setting up for failure because every time you put a drive down, it gets devastated because you put the wrong play in. Come on, man.
Hey, man. I didn't do it.
It's all about high energy and high motivation. We can win against the Bills. Believe it or not. Watch what I tell you.
We can what?
We're the new cardiac kids. I'm gonna tell you some reason why we're gonna win that game. Because you know why? We're the Cleveland Browns. Games we don't win.
Larry.
We don't win. We gonna win today.
Boy, it feels like it's been years since we played this.
1950 in the cold and rain when my father took me to my very first game. Said the Browns are gonna show you how the game is played. Here we go again.
Las Vegas, San Francisco, Tennessee, then the Bears, the Bills. I got nothing else. Here we go again. No false starts. No 52-yard kickoff returns. No 17-yard punt returns. No strip sacks. No emotional challenges. Browns football, baby.
We're going to have the correct wristbands on right away.
Correct wristbands.
Let's not get carried away.
Thank you, Larry. Needed it.
So glad he got off the speakerphone.
Andre in Cleveland. Hey, Andre, real quick, you there? Andre! Damn it, he can't answer my question now. I disagree with Larry. I think the Browns, their struggles, I think that they distract a Cleveland fan. And if you put out there who keeps their job, what was the diabolical poll question?
It was who gets fired first.
Okay.
Atkinson or Stefanski?
Atkinson or Stefanski, who gets fired first? I'm disavowing this. I will disavow. You can't do it yet. You can do it tomorrow.
Okay.
You could do it tomorrow if you want to talk about this tomorrow.
I think we might have to.
Unless you get a call on your bat phone there over the next 12 hours or 24 hours, 18, whatever they are.
I think Kenny's good. I think he is very frustrated with this team and their level of effort. And he's trying to figure out how he can get more effort out of them. And it's tough because his star said last year, nobody's going to care about the regular season. And it looks like they're playing out that exact reality.
Right. He did say they could go 82-0 and no one would care.
Yeah.
I would prefer if they at least try to go 41-40.
I think somebody, I'm starting to wonder something here. Davis in Cleveland. Davis, can I throw something by you here?
Sure. Senate, how you doing?
I think we just had somebody write something that Lima's going to bring up again tomorrow. I'm hearing some things. I wonder if somebody in a very important position over there at Rocket Arena is grumbling right now about this basketball team and maybe about his teammates. I'm not sure. I have no idea. I can't prove it. I don't know. Maybe somebody in a very important position might be not very thrilled about the way things are going right now, and they've been pretty upset because a lot of us have been saying, well, this is part of the plan. And by the way, for the last couple of weeks, you noticed, Davis, I shut up about it because I thought at first it was that way, but I'm seeing Donovan upset after these games. I'm going, something ain't right here. Something stinks. Go ahead, Davis.
You're correct. Both our teams have issues. We're going to have a bad season this year on both ends. You can just sit down and just name them. I want to say that we need to find some people that know how to draft, for one, how to evaluate talent.
They got it right last draft, did they not? They got it right last draft, did they not?
You talking about the Browns?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a pretty good draft. Yeah, that's I'm going to give them that. That's true, but don't go into the next draft doing goofiness. Build around Shedeur. Get some linemen, some receivers. Let's see what he can do.
Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you how Shedeur plays these final 3 games?
He doesn't have to be perfect.
No.
All he needed.
I don't think anybody's giving you perfect with this team.
Yeah, all he needed to show me progress in certain ways. Right now, I'm looking like he's worth it. He's worth the time.
Okay, Davis, thank you very much for the call. I don't know if he's going to have that chance to be able to prove that he's worth the time. I'm just pointing it out. Got 3 more weeks. But, Larry thinks we can win. Larry thinks we can win.
Knowing that my rap is going to be better.
Larry thinks we can win. Are you going to say something? Or you just going to sit there and tweet?
I got another diabolical question.
Okay, what is it?
If you can only have one of these this week, and you're in attendance, Browns win or Myles Garrett gets the sack record?
You ignorant
One
slut.
of the others. It's only one of the others. Put it on the poll, Mitch.
Don't.
Owen has accepted it.
No, don't. It's 9:53. I'm not talking about that.
No.
Signing off.
Put it on a poll so we can
just do it on the show tomorrow.
Come in with the numbers
on
tomorrow.
the show tomorrow.
We've got to have the numbers.
No, don't do this.
I need to know how the fans think.
Why do you do this?
I want to know what's more important to them, Kenny. That's how we stay relevant with our fans and our listeners.
That's okay, because I'm on to my next endeavor.
Can't just flail away. Oh, I don't know what they're saying.
I know
that way we'll have data.
My issue with it is
I'll
that
make a chart.
The issue with it is
I love a chart.
I know my answer and I hate my answer. And you will find out tomorrow morning what that answer is on the fan. Have a wonderful day, my friends.
But you clap.
Hey.
Sound.